I am continuing my reading, and what I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I go. Right now, I am reading in Exodus. This will be chapter 25. It is a little bit longer, so might be ending up as two different videos, but we will see. Here we go. Israel commanded to donate property and build a tabernacle. Also the Ark of Testimony, which is mercy seat and the cherubims, with its mercy seat and cherubims, a table for the shewbread and the candlestick, all according to patterns shown Moses in the mount. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering. Of every man that giveth it willingly, with his heart ye shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold and silver and brass and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and ram skins dyed red and badger skins and shittim wood, oil for the light, spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them, according to all that I shew thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle, and the pattern of all the instruments thereof. Even so shall ye make it. Just a small note here. There's a lot of stuff here that the details I don't think are real important to us today. This is donating the best quality stuff. Gold, silver, good fabrics, gemstones, all this stuff, good stuff. But you'll note, we have not heard anything about an ephod, a breastplate, and yet we're being told, have them donate these things for this purpose. This indicates to me that Moses was told what to make first before this commandment was given. God says, Moses, this is what we need to make. And then how are we going to get the materials? Well, you command the people, and they're going to give us the materials. They're going to donate it. But he did give him the information first, and then give him the command. I also note that it is only to be offered willingly. They can't force anybody to get. They can't go in. He doesn't tell Moses, "Oh, go take everybody's gold." He says, tell the people that if they want the blessings, they need to donate. And as long as they donate it, we're good. If they don't donate it, you can't take it. So once again, we have here, God is respecting personal property, private property. You can't take by force what belongs to another person. Verse 10. And they shall make an ark of shittim wood, 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, within and without shalt thou overlay it, and shalt make upon it a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt cast 4 rings of gold for it, and put them in the 4 corners thereof. And 2 rings shall be on the one side of it, and 2 rings in the other side of it. And thou shalt make staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put the staves into the rings by the sides of the ark, that the ark may be borne with them. The staves shall be in the rings of the ark, they shall not be taken from it. And thou shalt put into the ark the testimony which I shall give thee. And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold, 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And thou shalt make 2 cherubims of gold, of beaten work, shalt thou make them in the 2 ends of the mercy seat. Okay, a brief pause here. This is a description of the Ark of the Covenant. And again, I'm not sure we need a lot of detail, but just a cubit is approximately 18 to 20 inches. I think 18 is what's considered standard, and then a royal cubit was 18. So this is 2 cubits and a half long. That is almost 4 feet long. It's like 3 feet 9 inches approximately. 1.5 cubits wide and 1.5 cubits tall. That would be 27 inches. This isn't a big box. This is, I mean, it's long, but it is a big box. It's not a huge box. It is a big box, 2.5 feet tall, about 2.5 feet tall, 3.5 feet long. So the mercy seat, of course, has the same dimensions, so it sits on top of it. Now, it calls it the mercy seat, but the alternate Hebrew translation in the footnotes says atonement cover. So it's not a chair to sit on. It is to symbolize how the atonement covers those of the covenant. So the other thing, it says of beaten work. In other words, you don't melt the gold down to form it. You hammer it into form. That's what beaten work means. You don't melt it and then use a form, and you take gold slabs, you put them on, and you pound it flat, because gold is very malleable, very soft, and you beat it into the shape you want it to be in. But you'll also note the staves and everything, 2 rods to go in, everything's overlaid in gold, and nothing can be taken apart. The mercy seat can be taken off, but the staves that are the handles for carrying it are never to be removed. They're always to be attached to it. Anyways, verse 19. And make one cherub on the one end, and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall ye make the cherubims on the 2 ends thereof. And the cherubim shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces shall look one to another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubim be. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark, and in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee. And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony, of all things which I have given thee in commandment unto the children of Israel. So 2 golden cherubims, of course these are a type of angel. They're sitting facing each other, eye to eye, and their wings are stretched out over the mercy seat. And then God says, you put the mercy seat on top of the ark, you put the testimony into the ark, which is the written record. That's what the testimony is. He's talking about the scriptures. Put them in the ark, put the mercy seat on top, and then when I come talk to you, I will stand between the 2 cherubims on top of the mercy seat, and we'll have our conversations that way. Excuse me. So now, verse 23. Thou shalt also make a table of shittim wood. 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and make thereto a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt make unto it a border of an handbreadth round about. And thou shalt make a golden crown to the border thereof round about. And thou shalt make for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings in the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof. Over against the border shall the rings be for places of the staves to bear the table. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, that the table may be borne with them. And thou shalt make the dishes thereof, and spoons thereof, and covers thereof, and bowls thereof, to cover withal, of pure gold shalt thou make them. And thou shalt set upon the table shewbread before me alway. So just a few footnotes here. In verse 29 says, covers thereof, alternate Hebrew translation, jugs or jars, and bowls thereof to cover withal, alternate Hebrew translation, wherewith to pour libations or pour out drink offerings, those kind of things. So this is setting up a table for certain types of offerings. It doesn't really explain what the shewbread is. It just means the shewbread could also be translated. It says bread of faces or bread of the presence. So it is to symbolize the presence of the Spirit in our lives. But exactly what it was, it's not saying here. The table, the dimensions of the table, if a cubit is 18 inches, the dimensions of the table seem a little small to me because it would only be a foot and a half tall, well, 2.5 feet tall, be maybe waist height. Seems a little short, but I don't know. Anyways, let us quickly finish this. Verse 31. And thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers shall be of the same. And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side. 3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knop and a flower in one branch, and 3 bowls made like unto almonds in the other branch, with a knop and a flower. So in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick. And in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with the knops and the flowers. And there shall be a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches that proceed out of the candlestick. Their knops and their branches shall be of the same, and all it shall be one beaten work of pure gold. And thou shalt make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light the lamps thereof, that they may give light over against it. And the tongs thereof, and the snuff dishes thereof shall be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it, with all these vessels. And look that thou make them after their pattern, which was shewn thee in the mount. There's a little confusion on this. Some of the terminology is hard. I don't even understand all of it. So, but it appears like a knop is a, well, it says you have a bowl in the shape of an almond with a knop and a flower. So it'd be, you have a candlestick, 6 branches. You have 1, 2, 3. You got these 6 branches coming up. You know what I think it's called the menorah candlestick looks like. They all come up to the same height, coming down. Where they join together is a knop. That means like a joint. As they go up, they each have another joint that has an almond and flower design on it. And then you go up to the top. And that's how it's done. That's how I picture it. That's how it's generally drawn in most artwork. So it's a very interesting description. But again, the symbolism is important. It has the 7 parts because you have the candlestick plus the 6 branches. That gives you 7 parts, again, symbolizing the Sabbath, and the flame being the light of the gospel in our lives. But, I'm sure there's other symbols that we can draw from it, but those are just the 2. This video is getting a little long, so don't want to get too much into it, but that's kind of what I see. So I will see you in the next one.